With the rubber band, we can also do some lower leg squat routine. So this is assistive in the squat. So most people at home will do an air squat. And in an air squat where they're not using a band, I'll do this movement. You see the angle of my spine here? That's going to give some work into the lower back, but if we really want to do a focus down here on the glutes, by holding a band and keeping the spine more upright, we get a lot more work in our legs and our glutes. Less stress in the back, but with the band, the back's also working. So this is a very, very good way of practicing squats. With the band, if you want a little more challenge, you put further back, because now I'm having to hold the band up. My back muscles are working even harder. Now, if you want it a little bit harder, we can then go into the single leg version of the squat. Now the single leg version looks like a lunge, and it is a lunge, but with the foot is off the ground. If you just do a lunge with the foot on the ground, like a curtsy, that's quite easy. With this here, we can pull on this band, get a little bit of a challenge and a little bit of an assistance, and just do these single leg versions. You can keep the body upright, and if you're very capable, you can come into a single leg front squat, commonly known as a pistol squat. You don't need to go all the way to the ground to get a lot of advantage with this. This helps you stay upright, but it also challenges your core to stay upright. So all of these exercises really add a nice dimension to your squat routine if you don't have any weights or you're not in the gym. So the MySmartFit chair, squat work, band work, upper body work, awesome. Now we're going to do the standing behind the chair work with the band. This is great to tone up the bottom muscles, strengthen the hamstrings and the back muscles. So what I need to do first is take the foot and put the band around the heel. So bend down and just place it here on the heel here. Just to get a feel for where you need to be, you should be able to, this is the straight leg version here. So you can see in my body, nice and straight, lean forward, brace on the chair. Now if you want more challenge, take one hand off the chair. Two hands off the chair is very, very challenging. You need the brakes on the chair here. This is going to work the hamstring. Now that is the straight leg. Then we have the donkey kick. So bring the band now down into the ball of the foot. And again, if you want more challenge, you can just take the hands off. The chair is on a normal surface with the brakes on, is strong enough to hold. However, if your chair is moving a little bit, just keep one hand on for safety. This can then come to the side, so keeping the band in the same place, and then we can do some lateral work. And this lateral work here is working the gluteus medius, which is good for balance. If you want better balance training, take the hand off the chair, and then you're really, really challenged. Now we come on to the inner thigh, and the inner thigh here is challenging this movement across the body, but this leg's working very hard as well. These balance exercises are very important, especially as we get older, because as we get older, the risk of falling increases, and the risk of falling, the risk of injury means pretty much the end of life for a lot of people. So these exercises can also be done facing. So I come and I place this here on the ankle. I step away a little bit and balance. Now, if you're not a good balance, you need to have a chair near you to be able to balance. And then we're going to do this marching position. If you're a runner or a cyclist, this is very, very good training for learning how to use your core. So these movements, as you are training these, you can add a little bit of rotation in. These are great for runners, cyclists, anyone having to balance. So you might, just for safety, need to put some chairs or a table or do this near a wall so that you can be in a safe position. So these are the standing series where we're using the legs. Now we're going to move on to where we're using the arms. So take the feet out, face the chair, squat down nice and safely and pick up. We're going to start with a row. If it's a little bit easy, step back. Now the goal here is not that the shoulders come to the ears, so I'll demonstrate what not to do. It's not up to here. It's a pull back, squishing the shoulder blades together. This can then add in some rotation. You could do single arm. Then reverse the hands around and do some biceps. So the standing bicep work can add some rotation. You could do single arms here. You could do row, cross, any variation of any of the angles where you're using rotation and the arms, including, for example, you can come across the body like this. You can then do... Now, here's a trick. If this band is a little bit heavy, undo one side. As you undo this one side, slide it through, and now you have this band loose. This will allow you a much better way to find the right strength for your shoulder and this band. All of these exercises, very practical exercises for health. You don't need to go to a gym. Right here at home on my SmartFit chair with the rubber band, you can do a whole lot of exercises.